This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, Nikki, we're on. Okay, we don't know what happened to James. So I guess we'll cover that at another point. Go. Well, Craig. Welcome, Craig.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Thanks, Eric, for taking care of our problem this week.
You should read it, it's just got some fun facts. It's more just.
It's a mess, but whatever. It's a mess anyway. And everybody says, oh, it's always been like that.
Maybe that's the first.
Oh, yeah.
I know we added to it, but most of that ice was already there.
All
We
right.
did throw a bunch of salt out there.
Oh, you did?
Before everybody gets up in the morning, we're gonna go up to that area.
Oh, thanks.
That's happening.
Yeah, I had a really, really slow day, but I don't know if it could be time of year, but no, it was like crazy. I should park out there maybe too. Maybe people can see that you can actually park. I don't know.
James, can you rejoin the meeting? It said ends, I don't know why it ended, and I don't know if you have the ability to rejoin.
Should.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what happened. All right. Thank you. Otherwise, I'm putting you on some weird speakerphone. Okay. While he's working, anything else from you on commission? Nikki?
Yes, I did not attend, I did attend the meeting by phone call. There were actually two meetings last week. One was another strategic planning, and Karen was able to draft up a survey that she's gonna get out in the mail for people to hopefully get their feedback. And then I failed because I can't, at the actual meeting, there was a lot of stuff discussed that I can't, I was not focused, and I can't remember what she wanted me to bring to the table today. Because I was, yeah. But she did really a good job with the survey that's coming out. There's a jazz festival in May, and I'll get you better information for that. So, sorry, my commissioner comments kind of failed this.
Okay. If she had something and you remember later.
Tell you.
Ready?
So I hope everybody got that on your water bill, dog thing. How much are the fees again?
What?
Is there 15 per dog?
No, it's $10 per dog if they're altered, and there's a $5 penalty now that applies if they're spayed or neutered.
They're how much?
$10 plus $5. If you wait till next month, they're gonna be another $5. Right now, it's a total of 15.
Per dog.
If they are not spayed or neutered, it's $5.
15 to 20.
Sorry. I guess, I don't know. I don't really have much to say. I know one thing that has been brought up to me. Has anybody spoken to Matt or John as to why they insist on going into the businesses to tell people that are parked long ways to go and move their vehicles? Rather than issuing warnings.
Probably avoids giving a ticket.
Can't get back on?
What's the question?
Ginger.
So fishing boats, when they have trailers, and they park
Right here.
parallel with the sidewalk,
Uh-huh.
he goes in and finds the customers and tells them they need to move their vehicle and park legally. And she's having to complain currently.
Well, it's not so much, it's just during the winter, because like there's like nobody out there.
Wait, who's
Yeah,
complaining?
yeah, but I mean, like, there's not like a ton of business, like,
Oh, people that are eating at your restaurant are
Yeah.
complaining because they're told to move?
yeah, John, like, Matt comes in and says, is that yours out there? Get up and go move it. Versus just giving them a
Okay.
voice or a-
But the other one that I wanted you to talk about was, for clarification, was the
Yeah.
alley point. I don't know how to, the alley and how the new.
Because they're not
code portion would-
supposed to.
how I-
But on that same token,
Maybe we'll just
can't
put it
see
on
the
the next
line
one
when
as an
it's
update.
cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, so how would they know?
These are mostly locals. They
Right.
know that it's no parking on Main Street.
Yeah, in the snow, you can't see it.
Okay.
That was my only thing.
There's other cars.
And
Okay.
I've seen them in action, and they're nice. Sorry, it's not.
okay. What was the term though, the specific term for,
I got nothing else. I'm just
Thank you.
tired.
it's getting,
Paperwork.
So I attended I attended a resort tax
all right.
informational meeting up in
Alright.
Big
If
Sky
I freak out, I'll call you again.
with Ted from Red Bear Inn.
Okay. All right,
Ted
thank you.
is definitely anti-resort tax, or I should say he was. I shouldn't say he was. I think it was very informational for sure. And it was a lot of good information in that making so there are 11 communities in Montana that have resort tax. West Yellowstone was the first one that utilized this to take care of their massive influx of tourists every year. And that's why I refer to it as a tourist tax, which is not politically correct, but so Big Sky was the second municipality. Well, it's actually
not a
not.
municipality.
It's actually not a town, correct? But they create a district, is what you end up doing, and what you want included in this to be taxed is how you set up these boundaries for it. Regardless, Big Sky had to set this up because their sewer system was not DEQ compliant anymore. So a moratorium was placed on building immediately in maybe 1992. That's when they implemented a resort tax as a way to pay for redoing their whole sewer system, which if you guys stick around for our next meeting with Great West Engineering, I think we're going to find that we've got some incredibly large expenses that we're up against. And even our water system, I think we were at $4 million of immediate needs. And of course, they're going to give us this payment plan, but I run a business, and I am in business to make money. And the town of Ennis is a business that we're all in charge of to a certain degree. So we have to consider all options that we possibly can to pay for these expenses that we have coming up. But yeah, and they have Eric. I really want you to meet this guy, Ron Edwards. He's a 30-year veteran in water and sewer. He is ecstatic about coming down and just sharing his knowledge. He's on the verge of retiring here soon. So So yeah, that guy was the most interesting individual because those are some of the first and foremost things that come to mind. Water and sewer that we need to.
Did you get his contact information for her?
Yes, I have his card.
If you're gonna continue on your path, I would really recommend you look at a municipality out of curiosity and contact probably West Yellowstone. And if you look at your list, most of those have city managers. So we'll get on to how that occurs too. Which is coming up next year.
A city manager discussion.
I'll get it. I'll cover that in mine. How that works. What I was supposed to be doing tomorrow. Anyway, what else you got?
What else? One other just quick fun fact. Like what they do with their wastewater up there is create snow and water their golf courses. So just not that we would be creating snow, but water.
And how much is a lift ticket at Big Sky? Sorry. Wasn't very nice. That changes my perspective. Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I think I emailed all the commissioners with the stuff, so feel free
I'm Corey
to.
Hardy and I support this message.
All right.
I have more. It's not town related, but next Friday, we are having a history meeting, a history program at the senior center at 4 o'clock for Mr. William Ennis.
Yes.
Would it be a reenactment of just shooting down?
I'm not going to have to ask the so.
Oh, it's getting late.
All right. So what I got and what I know. So speaking to the audit, there's a like preliminary what you can do better to make it smoother for next time. So we got notes and we're trying some things out, see if it goes better. Just like I have to send it out to all the staff. Most of them are here, but all receipts need to be copied to a 8.5 by 11 so that those can all get scanned and attached into Black Mountain to be attached to the claim. So it's all electronically there instead of just in the file. What else? It's the same thing where you need to have you need to have a backup system for your clerk. So I was in executive session in Helena. We spoke a lot about audits. If you have an auditor, and I mean this was not a little bit, and I wish I could have recorded it for all of you. If you have an auditor, for the love of Pete, do not get rid of them. There are towns that are still looking for an auditor. They're going all the way as far as Colorado to find one. And they have faced fines for their audit being late, but they cannot get one. So like I said, there's this idea that we need to rotate. They're like, at this point, there are not enough auditors to cover us. All the municipalities, and if you have one and you get rid of it, the chances of you getting another one are slim to none. So do not was the consensus. Get rid of an auditor if you have one. They are all approved, but I mean, talking to the towns that hadn't been through audit and that were behind, it was like, that's another nightmare I just don't need. Like, we do not need another nightmare. They're like, and I talked about the double checking, the checks and balances system, and having clerk, deputy clerk, all that. And they're like, yeah, we have that on our audit report too. Not to say that it's good, not to say that it's bad, but it's not uncommon. I talked to a whole bunch of them. They were like, yep. I did talk to Three Forks. So the mayor's also brought in a clerks panel of experienced clerks that we could just talk to. And where did that go? In Three Forks, there's the clerk and the deputy treasurer, and then they switch back and forth. So they gave me their job descriptions and we're kind of working our way through that.
It was like 4.
Yeah,
They go.
they cross back and forth and that's how they do their checks and balances. So we're looking at,
But, may I?
yeah,
Our auditors also gave us some good tips on how we can set things up a little bit differently, to make that work.
yeah. So we're working through like their job descriptions and ours and what the auditor said and trying to put that together to make it work better for next year. So that's what I know there. And with that, I guess part of that, or money, as we're talking about that, is the ARPA that she talked about, and I don't have the number. I want to say it was the ARPA money that we were granted.
You talk for just a second, then I'll go.
Okay, we'll come back to that one because I don't have it open in front of me. What else was, there was a lot of legislative talk in Helena, back and forth. It's always really amazing. If you have any planning that you're not sure about, like any planner issues, besides forests, Kelly Lynch with the league, that's actually where she started, was in planning. So you can always run stuff by her. I did entirely stump her and Dan Clark. So she is so amazing. It's crazy. So get a hold of Kelly. If you have something, you can shoot her an email. MMIA was incredibly overwhelming as per the norm. So one of you might get to be assigned on a safety committee. I'm working through those details right now. But yeah. As one of the MMIA things, if you have more than 5 employees, you need to have a safety committee. And you need to have safety meetings, and we have all the material for it. We just need to have committee and then review it from time to time. So we have 15-minute tailgate talks that you do every week. Like
Every week?
yes, yes.
Every Monday.
So, and some of those, they're supposed to be emailing me this whole thing, and you will also get them, is my new plan. But some of that is also going to be cybersecurity, so have fun, more training on that. So we talked about that risk. We covered a lot of liability, a little bit of human resource, but a lot more in the property liability realm, which is only most, I think they take you there just to terrify you, honestly. You get big insurance companies, and that's what they do. So I have a list about this long of things to follow up on, including some, I need to look at your insurance. Lions Club is what I'm saying. Like they were talking it's funny how the same things come up at conference every year, chickens and Easter egg hunts. And I was like, what? I'm like, can we just co-host it and then our insurance covers an Easter egg hunt? And they're like, okay. And I'm like, so I don't know if we need to, just making sure we're all covered for our big Easter egg hunt. I don't know. Just saying.
We have road insurance for part of it. So
I'm like, okay.
it's an issue if you.
And I think it's just because they have different clubs that host them in different towns. But I was like, they're like, check about your Easter egg. I'm like, why is it eggs and chickens? Why is it always chickens?
We're not using your legs this year though.
Yeah. All right, what are the other highlights? What?
Actually, no. How many people throw them out? A lot of people, I'm sure, save them for years to come.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
What else we got?
I could throw my.
We should have a recycle bin.
So the most important part of executive session that's going to happen next year, and this is like not a little kind of like, oh, glance over it. We have local government review statewide next year. Translation, every decade, the state gives you the opportunity at the local level to pick your pizza. Or if you don't want pizza, you can have Mexican. But you have different styles of government. We are commission mayor. You can have a commission executive, which is the city manager that you're talking about. You can have just commission. You can have commission PO, which is Virginia City, where the mayor is chosen from the commission as their executive officer. I'm missing one. We could have town hall staff,
The one that sounded fishy.
Pinesdale.
Yeah.
That's the one, that's town hall style. And that's only for municipalities under 2,000. So we could do that if you want. And a meeting is only 10% of the population. We could have awesome long meetings that never end. Different. So with that, League helps us, well, MSU is actually going to be our buddy system all throughout the state. They're going to come down, do little workshops with everybody. They help you prep a resolution and a budget. And then you present that and the community gets to decide, do we need to go through this review? Do we like it? And at that point, you go, yes, no. And if you go, yes, we'd like to review it, then you have to pick a committee and those need to be voted on. And we, as our part of our resolution, say how many people are going to be on this committee, 2, 3, 4, whatever. That committee gathers the information on whether or not we proceed with more to change your government. This can go really well, or this can go really bad, Darby, where they hated the mayor. So if you hate me, please, please don't make it reflective in the local government review. It's not about any individual here. It's about what you think is going to be best for government style for the next 10 years of town.
And when is this?
Next year, everybody goes through local government review. So as there's a group of high schoolers that will be 18 next year, I'm going into the government class. I'm supposed to be tomorrow, but we'll see. To explain local government review process to them, because I'd never heard of it before, and I don't know. So no matter where they are in the state, they can take place. So, and maybe if you educate people before they step out in the world, it will have better decision making at the polls. That's the hope. That maybe if I go into the government class a couple times a year, hey, I know it's super nerdy and I never thought it was exciting either. That's why I was going to go into medicine, but here I am. So maybe pay attention because it could serve you later. So that's what's going on. Classroom visits are scheduled for that, and then some of the clubs as well. BPA, FCCLA, speech and debate. That's what I got. I'm working on the sign, but yeah.
Give us that dollar amount for ARPA.
So total allocation amount is $439,133.
It's two separate.
Yeah, that's the total amount. So of that, 214, why am I reading this wrong? You should have just handled this.
It's 225 from the county. And it should be 214.
33 from,
That's for the grant that we applied for. 214,000 is a grant.
and the transfer, gotcha. So two separate things.
And the 225 comes from Madison County.
They divided theirs equally amongst the four.
Do you know the timeline when that has to be used? 2026.
Yeah.
So that money has to be used and accounted for by that.
Yep.
Tax.
Like used, not planning to
Used.
use. Okay.
Used.
That probably shouldn't be a problem.
No,
No, I mean, we have a few
I can
little,
try to do that this summer.
Yeah. We
Okay.
got what, a couple million that we need to put out?
so it's not like, oh, that's the problem. It's more like, can we have a little bit more? Just a little bit? What?
When's the miscellaneous auction thing?
That's scheduled for May 16th, I believe, on a Saturday. And then we have to go through the other portion of Public Works property.
What's going on?
We have to write a resolution and everything else for your other piece of,
We have the resolution.
that's for all the vehicles and stuff. I'm talking about your property.
Oh, okay.
So you can have more property.
All right, cool.
All right, that's all I got. Anything that we need to throw on the agenda? Okay. Claims.
Motion to adjourn.
Claims.
No.
Oh, claims. I make a motion to approve claims.
Second.
Mhm.
Who seconded?
I did.
Tina.
Where are we at?
Motion to adjourn.
We have to approve the claims. You have to vote.
Craig.
Tina.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, now.
You skipped.
I did not. He said aye.
No, we're good now. Wait, he has to abstain.
No, he can review claims. He knows how to read.
Oh, but I thought he didn't sign.
He doesn't, but we'll get a new signature sheet for him.
I missed getting that changed when I printed it.
Okay. Adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Who seconded?
Tina.
Tina. Okay. I didn't sign them, but I'll be right there.
Whoever set up shop.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, man.
That was so nice.
Oh, that is. The other ones are like all creaky and just making noise.
Yeah. Where was that? You guys got two more. Coming after it.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, yeah, total.
No.
Triple. I told you.
I won't lose it.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay. I'd like to. Sign the claim? Just checking. That's awesome. You know, that is one of the things that we should. Yeah. Got Larry. Here's another one. Yeah. I really did make that. Oh, thank you. Oh, I almost had that one. I need your number. Yeah, I'm coming. You like purple? Or you want sucker?
Yeah. Thank you.
Right there. You want sucker? Me.
This is the bad food one. I just never done it. It's time for me to have like the full information as to what they're planning to do, other than.
Right, it's a relatively new, but this run.
Bye, everybody.
Singapore, I got, my brother sent me an article. Singapore.
I'm trying to still pen, so I'm set there for now.